Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today I'm going to be playing some more Mask of the Rose. The Comrade Hates Love playthrough, second playthrough. So it's a new morning. I think we've got 8 days left in the month. I think we'll start off by having a little flashback here. I think these are sometimes helpful in speaking to people. There was a stranger across the way. This might be Harjit's partner, whose name I've forgotten. The basement window is level with the feet of passers-by. On the night of the fall, I saw unshod feet, curved and taloned, clasping onto the cobblestones to avoid being shaken off. The creature was bigger than a man, but it walked hunched over. It paced out deliberate steps to the curbstone opposite Mrs. Chapman's, and on the stone face it wrote letters of fire. I could not read the language. Come the morning, that house was gone, and its neighbours on each side were sharing a party wall. Inscribed buildings. Ooh. Let's see if we can build into our story for Archie. Action, inscribed buildings. Yeah, maybe we could do that. Unknown purpose. Is that something? Pages, surgical. Okay. There might be something Archie's interested in. So if I go there, does it say, yeah, they're both ready to hand in now. Okay. Kind of maybe like to go and find the church. Tell you what, let's go with... I also would like to hand in these census pages. Let's go and talk about this with Harjit. I'm sure we'll look fine. Harjit acknowledges me with a nod. Express relief and surprise at his continued survival. What a relief to see you. You live and breathe another day. One is constantly afraid one's acquaintances have been snatched by something large with talons and wings. We turn to the price of mushrooms and the difficulty of finding fuel. These are the subjects that people discuss in the Neath, in order to avoid talking about teeth and snakes and the occupants of our dreams. I mentioned the masters writing sigils on walls. The night of the fall, I saw something drawing symbols on the walls of a house, and after the fall was over, that house was gone entirely. There are many of those sigils. Sometimes they are visible from the street, but more often... Come with me. Ooh. It's true there are any number of houses like this. What are we looking for? Wait, allow your eyes to see. Ooh, hello. I don't know what they mean. At first I thought they were some old language of Londoners, something from before English. Still used for magic, perhaps. And maybe your wise people were putting these on the walls to keep away the spiders and the rats and the other things. That's no language of ours. It's no language of ours. No. So I have learned. I have spent some hours in meditating on them. The result is dizzying. Thoughts that are not meant for humans to think. Come, some people are affected badly by the sight of these. I don't want to give you nightmares, or worse. I ask myself what they mean. Perhaps it's to do with how the London buildings don't stay where they are. Do you recall the second-hand clothes man who used to be around the corner? Yes? Of course I do. At first I thought the shop was destroyed, but it's moved 2 streets away now. The whole building. Consider the alarming results. I hope no one was crossing the shop threshold at the time. I can't imagine that would be good for the health. I haven't found any half bodies in the street. This may not be conclusive, however. Fresh meat does not sit out long. Silence falls. Oh, we can do the destinations at the same time. Brilliant. Cool. I thought that would be 2 different activities. Well, let's go to the church then. I wanted to do that anyway. Do you know how to get to St Albans? It's the parish church, not too far from here. But since the fall, it's been easy to get turned around. Yes, I can show you. This path is more than usually complicated. Several times we stop and retrace our steps. We cannot omit this part of the procedure. Going backwards is part of the route. There we go. St Albans Proto-Martyr. This is the closest church to Horatius. I can't remember his voice the last time. Probably a bit like David's, I'd imagine. I'm sorry, I don't have anything more in the poor box. If you come back tomorrow, I might have something to offer. Establish myself as someone to respect. I go by Hateslove. Theophilus Withenwick, it's a Yorkshire name. Likely you've already heard of me. Explain apologetically about the census. Very sorry for the interruption, but I've been sent to ask a few questions of the citizens of London, or those who survived at any rate. I am not sure what the masters have in mind. Nonetheless, it would be a help. I see. A decree went out from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. Laugh at Theophilus as much as with Theophilus. I laugh, not very pleasantly. His face. Theophilus laughs this off without taking it personally. Ask about his household. Do you live alone? I live alone in the rooms provided for the vicar of this parish. There is a woman who comes twice a week to clean, or there was. Her visits have been more erratic of late. She stole several spoons and a chafing dish from me. And my second-best chasuble. Who knows what she thought to do with it? When I did not turn her off for dishonesty, she lost all respect for me. In retrospect, it was an error. I thought to show mercy. Now I sleep on damp sheets. Ask a critical question in a reassuring way. There's no danger in these questions. Are you unmarried and unencumbered? No secret mistresses? I was married. The lady was 2 or 3 years older than myself, a very sensible and capable woman. Her name was Anne. What became of her? Anne Withenwick is no longer with you? Anne died giving birth to our first child. The baby did not survive her by more than a few days. I'd hoped to be reunited with them in the hereafter, but we see what the hereafter has proven to be. At least in my case. It seems the Almighty has deemed me unworthy. Offer some timeless wisdom. All shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. I came to London afterward at the invitation of a friend, a fellow who went into orders around the same time. He supposed a change of scenery would suit me, and it did, for a number of years. Now, I admit I would give a great deal to be back in the East Riding. Something has landed on the roof. It sees us. Bat. Point out that it's far, far too large to be a bat. It's larger than any bat I've ever seen. Larger than an eagle, come to that. A gargoyle? An imp? It's landed there a few times before, especially when the choir is practicing. Suggests dishonestly that I've shot bigger beasts. Not so very large. An elephant rifle will put a final end to its life. Elephants do not have claws. A tiger might be a better point of comparison. A tiger with the gift of flight. The thing up there is gone. The Tenterground synagogue's in a better condition than our little church. I've wondered whether that signifies the direction of divine approval. What will happen to the church roof? Ah, that. We must assume the fabric of the building sustained significant damage in the fall. The funny thing is, it held up for weeks, but shortly after Pentecost it all came down. I chose not to construe this as an intervention of the Holy Spirit. Recommend checking the rest of the structure. Might be wise to have someone look at the rest. I doubt there are any builders in London who are currently overburdened with time. It was good of you to stop in. Lord, see you safely home again. Another errand day. Theophilus, feared predators, fought a flying creature. Okay. I'm going to go back to pages. Let's go when Grizz isn't there. It doesn't really matter if we get fired this time. I'm going to try not to, though. There's a few more census pages we can do. Okay, ministry badge. All right, let's do that then. Grizz has already shown me once how to visit the ministry. Nonetheless, this time I want to make sure I visit while she is also there. Oh. Did I say for her to come as well? I can't remember now. So I invite myself to accompany her when she walks to work.
We require more stories for the bazaar. Our current catalogue is too small.
Too small?
Far too small.
We have all the romantic accounts from the census.
Too short, too self-similar. A person was married, then widowed. The person fell in love, was rejected, and married another. Where is the screaming in such an account?
Leave this to Grizz. It is the custom after suffering to go on with one's life. Besides, if you want more colourful stories, there are the novels.
London's novels have been disappointing.
Ask Grizz what she would do. What would you do then, Grizz? If we cannot prepare everything that is needed, we should prepare for the failure instead.
This sounds displeasing.
What will happen if there are not enough stories, or if they are not satisfactory?
We will not immediately escape from here. London will not be returned.
Ask about the food supplies. Will we run out of food? Are there not enough stores?
No, stores can be supplied.
What about popular unrest? Is there a risk of rioting or the like?
We could suppress this.
So, in other words, if you don't find enough stories, you will then spend longer in their collection.
Yes.
And that's all.
That is not all. I have promisificated and guarantorated that the paper supplies of London will provision-applicate.
Oh, more slowly.
I will be mocked. I will be humiliated. I will be shamed among the other masters. I assured them, when we chose London rather than another city, we said it was for her books, for her collection, her wealth, her hoard of printed things. Mr. Fires alleged that this was personal greed, but I assured them that I acted in the good of all.
I see.
Yes.
So the serious matter before us is that you helped to see to the sinking of London. Yourself. It was your own choice. And now you want us to help you prove that was not a vain decision.
Yes!
Oh, I need some air. Pretend nothing happened. I clear my throat and smile at Mr. Pages.
Do you have anything more?
Let's do ferret. I take my penny without flinching under its stare. Pages continues turning the pages over and going back and forth between them for a long time.
Inefficacious, this way of capturing menaces. We have better ways. The ministry will make them known. Do you have anything more?
Let's do Theophilus. This form merits 2 pennies. There are 7.
There are 7 forms thus far. This should be commemorated. Gris has suggested that the agents of the ministry should appear respectable. Moreover, that black is a respectable colour of clothing. I have obtained an article. It was not made with Mr. Vales's wares. I hope this will not give offence. Mr. Vale should not be given the measure of you.
Got a black coat. We could have bought that at Ferrets, but we got it anyway. Cool.
Gris specified the existence of holy men who were wedded to the church. This one appears to have been wedded to a woman. Only. A disappointment. Though we thank you, it might have been something more.
It contemplates the final sheet of the census form again.
Do you have anything more?
To Milton. I've got used to the transaction now.
This one is not a citizen of London. He will come from points west, and is not capable of love. Do you have anything more?
To Virginia. I can take my penny without flinching under its stare. Pages goes through pages of this census with growing interest, studying some pages closely. Then suddenly it stops and throws the sheaf on its desk.
She is known to us. She is not from the 5th city at all, nor even the 1st. Hell exchanged its ledgers late in the 4th city. We were otherwise occupied. We are unfamiliar with the newcomers. We surmise she is ambitious or in exilement.
Oh, that's enough of my official duties for the moment.
It is time for you to depart. You should attend the ministry frequently. Your presence is satisfactulant. If you have secrets to confide, I will also listen to them, especially if they pertain to hard matters, but even if they do not.
Accept and plan to befriend Mr. Pages. I would like that.
I have written this appointment in the book. Do not deviate from the obedience to this plan. Gris has indicated the aesthetic propriety of ruinous places. That what is broken inspires happiness and warmth of heart. There is something I wish to show you.
It leads me out of the ministry. The people in the streets part when we approach. No one troubles us. When we come to the edge of the stolen river, it summons a boat with a crook of its claw. Hoarded written word.
Does it have effect? Does it hearten you? Gris indicated that the moon was also required, but the moon was cast out of the belly of the Neath. It is unwise to stay. We will depart. You have seen what I wish to show.
Hopefully we can use this to get to Mr. Bendy. All that remains of the houses, the building has been in the middle of the river since the fall. Nice, we've got a lot of money now. I think we should pay Horatia back the rest of her rent. At this point, I go back to Horatia's. Let's be less formal for dinner. Let's take the lapel off. Put that back on.
Gris brought home some extra supplies today. I was able to do something that almost resembled cooking.
Compliment Horatia's hard work. Your suppers are always delicious.
Oh, you're very welcome. Flattery should be persuasive.
They're always as delicious as possible in the circumstances.
Exactly. And we have better circumstances today.
Keep quiet and eat. I chew diligently. And we finish. Okay, nothing major there. Let's go straight to sleep. Still got a week, so we've had half the month, basically. And that's good. I think we're done with census, more or less, now. Another morning, another newspaper. Archie bought one, and the headlines read, London swallowed whole by Leviathan. Sermon on the wrath of an angry god. If I'm not too... blah, 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 blah. That's fine. So a little flashback. Maybe Archie and Harjit had a conversation about something. I think I remember Archie talking to Harjit. I'm not sure whether it was right when Harjit arrived, though. It might have been later. Something about laudanum dosages. What to do if Harjit found someone who was on the verge of dying in a lot of pain? That memory's hazy, as if I heard it from another room, or was half asleep at the time. I couldn't swear to it. There was something else too that I haven't thought of until now. Just the flicker of an exchange. How old would your wife be then? Only the size and gender changed the dose. Ah. You don't recall? No, I haven't forgotten anything. Ach, I'm a doctor or near to it. There's no need to be shy. And hates love is sleeping by the look of it. Well, the person in question is a gentleman. Oh, in his 30s, a military man, near my own height. Oh, aye. Not your wife, then? If it's a comfort to you, I've made a friendship or two of that persuasion myself. Someone called it, actually, in the comments of, I think, the very first video, someone called that. They're near recent months. They went away then, Archie showing Harjit how to measure various medicines for a large military gentleman. Interesting. I think our stories are ready to turn in, so we'll just keep that there for now. Let's have a little think about what we might do. Let's go into the sunk. I can't actually go there. But now that I think about it, I think getting to Mr. Rubbery was when Horatia found a tentacle person in her cellar. So that may still happen. Dare to question him about ministry theories. There's loads of stuff here. Let's talk to Archie. Sure, this is fine. Whatever bad blood there is between me and Archie, he very clearly did not forget about it since last time we met. Bring up my recent memory of Archie. I remembered something strange from the night of the fall. You whispering about how to dose drugs for a grown man. You thought I was asleep. I don't remember that. Have you heard the proposals to drill some new wells? We need more fresh water that doesn't come out of the stolen river. Well, the first machine they put to it is stuck on something in the ground, red as a side of beef, and the ground screamed. I'd be curious to see what's there, but the ministry has blocked all the roads around the spot. Though there was a trickle of blood that was running down the street, and 2 or 3 enterprising butchers gathering in cups to make into pudding. Share my theory about Mr. Pages and the sigils. I had not seen this one before. Harjit spoken of the like now and then. Graffiti on the walls of houses that the ministries have told him to hide or clean off. I told him it was nae more than the marks that beggars put around, to tell which houses are safe to beg from and which are not. But this would be a fair bit more than that. Another fine piece. I was saving this for ingredients, but I'll more than get it back. For a moment, no one speaks. Who do you miss most from the surface? Make fun of the question. I'm sure you'd like to know. Och, I only wish to get a better sense of you. I miss my own people, but I remember them less well than I'd like. Keep slamming that door of friendship in Archie's face. Another errand today. I could try another one. Motive. Okay, what about actions? Not much more to do there, is there? Save and exit. pay the Horatio the rest. Let's just get that out of the way. We've got loads of money now. I didn't realise that story crafting was the way to make money. I didn't pick that up in the first playthrough at all. Oh well.
Comrade, it's good to see you.
Mention the theory that London has been swallowed by a Leviathan. I recount the newspaper story.
Oh?
When we look up, we're seeing its inward parts. We must hope its digestion remains good. The way I tell it, the newspaper correspondent comes out looking a bit of a fool, but it does make the tale more entertaining.
I don't hold with the fool being dredged up over and over. Living through it was bad enough all its own.
Express relief that London's old ways are gone. There's a good deal we left behind that I don't miss. Chance to change our ways of doing things, if you ask me. Horatio hears me out, but it's plain this question doesn't matter as much to her as to me. Nah, don't mind me.
Hargett says the Besham's neighbours vanished overnight. They'd been talking of making a run for it, just striking out north and seeing what they found. Not enough to eat around here, it seems.
Give her my remaining back rent. Here, you're owed this. Horatio gives my shoulder a squeeze. I apologise for taking so long. I'm sorry I didn't have it sooner.
A fault confessed is half redressed.
Hey. Silence falls. Offer Horatio my friendship. I see you as one of my closest friends.
I have a lot of people in my life who are friendly. The butcher, the neighbours, my lodgers, half the parish of St. Albans. You want to matter in my life in a different way to that, you need to work alongside me. Maybe don't even think of it as rent. Maybe contribute the way you would to a family household. That's what I need and don't have, and I know not everyone's got that to offer.
Apologise for my history and promise to do better. I haven't always done that, I know.
I know some people need looking after, and I don't hold that against them. And for a while you weren't ready to look after yourself after the fall. That's okay. We all had a bad time.
Then I'd like to be friends. She offers me a handshake. Shake her hand. I take her hand. It's a firm grip. A promise to look after me and a pledge to hold me to my own promises.
I'd best go tidy the parlour.
Horatio is like a member of my own family. I grin. I think we dressed all right. There are a few minutes of preparation. I suppose you've heard the news. What happened? Which news is that? The Masters have received word from the surface. The rest of the world is all still there. The remains of England, France, all the rest as it was. Only London was abstracted. There are crates and crates of mail from the world above. They're going out to London now as we speak. Shout with glee. I whoop for joy. It's impossible not to. The air is warmer, just for a moment, briefly comforting. Archie, did you hear?
I did at that. So it's true?
I mean to get a seat on the next mail coach that goes above. I'm not sure the mail came by coach, and it certainly did not come by train.
Well, however it came, I mean to go back that road.
Try to temper Archie's expectations. We might not be able to go back. No one said how the mail came from above.
There's more hope today than there was yesterday, love. Keep that in sight.
Look, Mr. Page has sent us all a gift. She takes out a package wrapped in brown paper and string and sets it down on the table. Inside are half a dozen fresh pork and apple sausages.
Better than Christmas, love. Thank your Mr. Pages for us. I'll make them up for Sunday lunch.
Join in Horatius' thanks. We're not going to question the Masters at all. Yes, thank you, and Mr. Pages.
I don't suppose Mr. Pages does a line in the red pudding. It is Mr. Hart's who's been arranging for the...
Oh, sorry, this is Grizz. It is Mr. Hart's who has been arranging for the import of surface meats. But I don't think Mr. Hart's would consider a red pudding a very suitable gift.
How many Masters are there, then?
I've only seen the census pages for a few of them. When I try to count, I always lose my place and have to start again. But I dare say it is just my nerves. I don't think Mr. Pages would like to find me looking through that file. Let's help clear the dishes after eating. When the meal is over, I give Horatia a hand clearing up. Good of you, my friend. We're going to be nice to Horatia. She's our buddy now. Straight to sleep. Why not? E6 days left. I'm starting to feel the time pressure a little bit again now. For once, I know just what I'll see in the paper. Contact achieved with the surface of the Earth. Travel possible via Z route. Mail collected from above. It goes on and on like this. I spend a good part of the morning devouring the pages. There are hardly any pictures. It's too early for illustrations. Nonetheless, the paper's correspondents paint a vivid picture of the perilous travel back to the environs of Italy. We've done quite a lot of that. Let's head outside. What could we do? Not much to do in the sunken parliament. Boarding house. I'm not going to do the census with Grizz. I'm kind of done with census now. Done with ferrets. Maybe Harjit can show me the route to the market. Yeah, that's fine. Good morning, comrade. I trust you're not having too much trouble with nightmares. Mumble nervously. I hope you'll forgive the intrusion. I wish to see you again. It seems we have had news from the surface now. Some voyager who found their way back above. I wonder why it took so long to find the way. And whether it's the same reason it's so hard to find the way across London. Point out he seems better at wayfinding than most. You seem to find your way better than the rest of us. It's about patience and memory. And being willing to retrace your steps. There are parts of London I still can't find, no matter how often I set off in that direction. Something is wrong with the southwest. Have you noticed? I boast that I've been too busy. The ministry keeps me too busy for exploratory rambles, I'm afraid. You might find more people for your census that way. I get as far as the sound of hunting horns, and then I see a sign for Threadneedle Street, and suddenly I'm back in quite the wrong place. New destinations, it's probably just the Hogsland Market. Let's go there. How do you get to Hogsland Market? The walk is easier this time than some of our previous lessons. At first I think I'm becoming better at route finding. Then Harjit mentions that the streets are becoming easier. The street signs change less frequently now. Here we go. She was Irish before. Then we got two Irish people in the same playthrough, so I might make her Scouse.
What are you up to then? In the market for new clothes?
Mumble nervously. Perhaps you were not expecting me. I hope it's not too unpleasant a surprise, but I wanted to have a word.
You missed a spot of colour this morning. A man came in with a basket of so-called fish. Mobbed he was, sold for 10 guineas each. But they wasn't fish. Cold and wet and slippery maybe, but not fish.
Oh?
I don't know what they were. I just know what they weren't.
We'll look for what she's got for sale. She's got a few costumes and stuff, hasn't she? Something respectable and gentlemanly. Crafty and inventive, at home at the university. A garment right for society. Gentleman's top hat for making new friends. Something respectable wouldn't go too badly wrong. Offer a low price and hope for the best. Could I have that men's coat for a penny by any chance?
The price on that is 2 full pennies.
Appeal to the ethos of a good shopkeeper. There's a time-honoured tradition of offering sample goods. The lady hesitates. I'm betraying the rules of commerce. If I want the men's coat, it seems I'll have to go about it some other way. Let's try again. Apologise for asking so much. Sorry, I shouldn't have asked so much.
The Master's outlawed charity, you know.
But, okay. She doesn't want to let me have it. I think we can probably pay... We've got 7. Let's just pay the 2 pennies, shall we? Fair price. I'll give you 2 pennies for that men's coat.
It's a fair price.
A respectable, if not elaborate garment, which does not commit me to any particular social grouping. Okay. What else would I like? Oh, we could have the top hat. An exceptionally of-the-mode piece, trimmed with mushrooms as style currently demands. Offer a low price and hope for the best. Could I have that stylish top hat with mushrooms for a penny by any chance?
The price on that is 2 full pennies.
Don't buy now as it is, I suppose. We'll buy it, but we'll pay the 2. Oh! I assume it's the same one. Okay, 2 pennies. Give you 2 pennies for that top hat with mushrooms.
It's a fair price.
Okay. I also wouldn't mind... Perhaps not impressive from a fashion perspective, but would make me welcome in certain company. It's alright, when I'm down to 3 pennies, maybe I'll leave it. Have a good morning.
Ah, well, top of home for me. If you come back round, ask for Ivy. I'm about most days in market hours.
Ivy and I should be friends. She might give me a discount. I grin. Judging by the clock, I've got another errand. So I was thinking of going back to Rachel and offering up the story that I did. There isn't that many choices of things to do at this point. Yeah. I'm going to try again. We're going to be a little more hoity-toity this time. Let's put the mushroom top hat on. We'll leave that on. And where's my gentleman's coat? Here we go. There. It's a bit more stylish, isn't it? Outfit notes. My chief garment is like a blank canvas. The garish hat distracts from the loud corsage, or is it the other way around? And I could put on that. Or just have nothing there. Alright. That's probably alright, isn't it?
Good afternoon. I'll see whether my master and mistress are at home.
Describe the flying beast at St Albans. I was at the church when something enormous landed on the roof. Not a bat or an ordinary bird. It looked in on us from above for some time before it gave up and flew off. Talking eases the sense of alarm. I go on for some time. Rachel listens, nodding. I have perhaps created some trust between us. For a moment, no one speaks.
We're talking about nothing here but the news, just like everyone else, I suppose. David is making plans to go back. He says the Neath doesn't agree with him. That his stomach will be settled if he can just get back to sunlight and fresh air and our old food. And I know it's what almost anyone would want. But then I picture myself up there, consigned to the spare bedroom in the house of some relatives in Brighton, living on charity, writing away to other magazines, whatever magazines might be currently published in, Manchester. Can you imagine? The south is gone, the north remains, all of England grey and steel and factories. I doubt my style of writing sells in Liverpool.
Right, sympathise, keep her sweet, sympathise with her point. I see the difficulty.
I wouldn't mind the sunlight and a decent meal.
In any case, I suppose it doesn't have to be decided quite yet. It will be a little time before passenger ships are fitted up for the Crimean Canal. Offer my happy plot. I'll lay out the plot as I've arranged it, especially the neat conclusion. Oh, this ends very cheerfully. Yes. I need to write more chapters. They will require some source of difficulty. We begin in one predicament and we end in another. You left out the second predicament. You've brought the story to a standing stop. Alright, we can bring us something else. I understand. I'll find another ending for you. Thank you. I know the requirements of the author may seem odd to the layperson, but if I sit down and write, I don't have suitable incidents in mind, nothing will go right. The characters will talk themselves in circles. Offer Rachel my friendship. I've come to see you as one of my closest friends. I put a great value on judgment, and your company is always a pleasure. Oh, someone I can rely on who isn't a relative. I shouldn't be telling you this, I know, but there are a few people I can speak to honestly. Now, that's an unexpected turn of affairs. Milton has been helpful sometimes, but it would be a mistake to trust him. He all but tells you not to if you try. But yes, I'm glad to call you a friend, and glad to be given such a straightforward account of it. I still have pages to do today if you'll excuse me. Look after yourself, friend. Try to study human nature as Rachel does. She notices people's foibles and the motives they try to keep hidden. There's also some frustration, some impatience. Sure, this is what I want to be myself. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll go straight to the table. That action could help the story, though. It started snowing outside. It isn't ordinary snow. Something has gone very badly at the ministry. Mr. Pages took away a great supply of our papers, together with many of the books and novels it had assembled. All of them taken into the bazaar in wheelbarrows, so many that it attracted quite a crowd. I thought those were for his personal collection. No, he was always planning to take them to the bazaar, but it didn't go well. And that seemed to concern him even more. He said London might not last long in the snow. Let's reassure her. Don't worry, Mr. Pages is easily agitated. I don't think that means we're safe. Grizz shakes her head. Mr. Pages has a very lively fear of what may happen next, and I cannot put this out of my head. No one speaks for a moment. Make sure to help clear the dishes. We're nice to Horatia. Good of you, my friend. Let's have a quick review. Because I wonder if I can go... Can I change the stories? No, I can't. Okay. Five more days. Another morning, another newspaper. This morning's lies open on the table. Ministry of Accounting and Recounting calls on citizens to cooperate in ongoing census. Our revelations don't enjoy any more prominent position than they did last time. But if I read closely, I can see a doubt about the masters implicit in many articles. If I'm not too occupied otherwise, I can always ask my friends and acquaintances whether there's anything they need from me. They may have some additional task for me. I mean, we might do that at some point. But for now, I think we're going to leave it there for today. So thanks very much for watching this episode of Mask of the Rose. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to look at the places we can go and things we can do. Oh, Hogshead Market, what can we do now? I really would like to get to the underground place, but I think we're going to have to wait until that event in the basement with Horatia. But in the meantime, maybe we'll pop in on someone and ask if they need anything. Like that. Can't go to ferrets. But yeah, we'll do that next time. But I hope you enjoyed it. Lots of time to take in the story a bit more and just find out a bit of background. So I'm enjoying that a lot more. I definitely am. But yeah, if you'd enjoy it, as I hope you did, then please do hit the like button on the video. Let me know in the comments what you think about this playthrough and anything you're particularly looking forward to seeing or me doing in the series. And lastly, if you're watching this and haven't already subscribed to the channel, it would be amazing if you could do so. It would be great to have you around. So thanks very much, and I hope to see you next time for more Mask of the Rose. Bye for now.